Imagine walking through a quiet town, when suddenly you see dozens of people dancing in the streets. There's no music, no celebration, just desperate, frantic movement. They dance until they collapse from exhaustion. And yet, they can't stop. This isn't a scene from a horror movie. This actually happened over 500 years ago in the summer of 1518 in the city of Strasbourg. Today, on FYNDS, Facts You Never Dreamed of Seeing, we're going deep into one of the strangest medical mysteries in history, the dancing plague. The year was 1518. Strasbourg, at the time part of the Holy Roman Empire, was a bustling city of merchants, craftsmen, and farmers. People here lived simple lives, but also faced constant hardship, poor harvests, disease outbreaks, and political unrest. The summer was unusually hot and tensions were high, and then something utterly bizarre happened. It began quietly, with one woman. Historical records name her as Frau Trophäa. She walked into the middle of the street and began to dance. At first, people thought she was simply enjoying herself, maybe part of a festival rehearsal. But there was no music, no laughter, just the sound of her feet slapping against the cobblestones. She danced for hours, and then through the night. She didn't seem to want to stop. In fact, it looked as if she couldn't stop. Within days, her strange behavior drew a crowd. And then, something even stranger happened. Other people began to join her. By the end of the week, dozens were dancing uncontrollably. Men, women, and even some children found themselves moving endlessly. They were drenched in sweat, their faces twisted in pain, but their legs would not stop. The city's leaders were baffled. Was this an act of rebellion, witchcraft, or a punishment from God? In an attempt to help, officials made a decision that would shock us today. They encouraged more dancing. They believed the best cure was to simply let the dancers dance it out. The city hired musicians, built a stage, and even brought in professional dancers to join them. But the plan backfired terribly. Instead of recovering, more and more people caught the mysterious dancing sickness. At the peak of the outbreak, around 400 people were affected. Some danced for days without rest. Exhaustion set in. Some collapsed and died from heart attacks, strokes, or sheer fatigue. So what could have caused this bizarre plague? Historians and scientists have debated for centuries. Theory 1. Ergot poisoning. Some believe the dancers were victims of ergot, a toxic mold that grows on damp rye bread. Ergot contains chemicals similar to LSD, which can cause hallucinations, muscle spasms, and convulsions. But critics point out, ergot poisoning usually incapacitates victims, not makes them dance in rhythm for days. Theory 2. Mass psychogenic illness. Another theory is mass hysteria, or psychogenic illness. In times of extreme stress, fear, or poverty, groups of people can display the same strange symptoms, driven purely by the mind. In 1518, famine, disease, and religious fear could have created the perfect storm. Theory 3. Religious or spiritual ritual. Some believe it may have been a misunderstood religious ritual, an act of devotion to Saint Vitus, the patron saint of dancing and epilepsy. People believed dancing might ward off bad luck or curses. After weeks of chaos, the strange epidemic faded almost as suddenly as it began. City officials finally banned public dancing, dismantled the stages, and ordered the remaining dancers to be taken to a shrine dedicated to Saint Vitus. There, priests prayed for them and performed rituals. Slowly, the dancing stopped. The streets of Strasbourg returned to normal, but the memory of the dancing plague haunted the city for years. The dancing plague of 1518 remains one of the most mysterious events in recorded history. Was it drugs, disease, mass panic, or something beyond our understanding? We may never know for sure. But the idea of an entire town dancing against their will to the point of death is a haunting reminder of how little we truly understand about the human mind and body. This was today's strange story from FYNDS. Facts you never dreamed of seeing. If you want more unbelievable but true stories like this one, subscribe, because the next mystery might just be weirder than this.